Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beth, and I'm very excited to say that today I'm going to be playing with the Melt Cosmetics by Nightmare Before Christmas collection. So I did buy the full collection, so I thought I would just go ahead and kind of show you everything that I purchased, and then I will have timestamps down below if you'd like to jump to a particular section. So I did purchase everything from Melt. They did have a full set that you got a slight discount on if you purchased the full set. And then I was also able to, I think, get 10% off by signing up for their emails or whatever. So that's what I did. Unfortunately, I think the full set is now sold out, as are certain pieces of the collection, and Melt does have kind of a higher free shipping threshold, so I know this collection will be coming to Sephora at some point. I think they had a limited kind of pre-launch where some people were able to purchase from Sephora, but as of right now, I think everything is showing as coming soon. So this is how the box came from Melt. I really like the attention to detail with the Nightmare Before Christmas themed interior and the thank you, we love you Melt kind of on the inside as well. So black tissue paper, and then everything was inside of the pouch. And they did also have a card as well. So that's what the full collection looks like, and I really like the kind of promo images they did. I think the makeup artistry on that is really great. I really love that look in particular. So that is kind of their promo. And this is the makeup pouch. I will say I was a little surprised that they put everything inside the bag. I don't mind that they did, because it does, I guess, give the products a little bit more cushioning in transit, but sometimes brands do that and sometimes they don't. So it's also a little larger than I thought it would be, but I was really taken by this design in particular. I really love how they have this kind of, I don't know, abstract take on Jack's suit and his little bow tie and everything. And then on the back, they have kind of a representation of Sally's dress and the logo up there. Honestly, I could have done with this just being a black and white stripe, but they did kind of represent both main characters that way. And then they have the Melt zipper pull that is wrapped in plastic. As far as quality goes, I did note that my zipper pull on this side, it looks like there's a bit of a, I don't know, unevenness in the print. And this particular zipper pull didn't have any kind of plastic on it. It just came like this. I think I saw in some other videos of people reviewing this collection that their heart pull had a plastic on it. So I think this bag, unfortunately, is currently sold out. So I don't know that they could replace it even if I asked them to, but it's a little unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. And if you were looking for, I guess, a cute Nightmare Before Christmas themed makeup bag, I did see some really cute ones at Target. There's one with like Zero's head basically, and it has his ears and everything, so I thought that was really cute. Because this is such a popular IP and it has been around now for, I think this is the 30th anniversary, there's plenty of, I guess, merch out there. So I wouldn't feel too discouraged if you missed out on the bag. And this is not one of the items that I think will be coming to Sephora. So if I open this up, I wasn't going to purchase the full collection, but I did like this bag, and when I started adding everything up, if I were to get like one of the eyeliners and one of the lipsticks, it just made more sense to purchase everything. So that is what the inside of the bag looks like, and I like that they kind of included so much detail. I thought this was just going to be kind of a normal, like, one zip open compartment type bag. Because I did purchase the full collection, I didn't see any kind of detailed pictures of the interior, but really cute print there on the inside with lots of characters and scenes from the movie. And it has a mesh compartment and then one compartment that is kind of fully zipped up. So this is how everything came essentially. I did open everything just to make sure it wasn't broken. But if we open up this compartment, that is where they had the mirror and the palette. So this is the mirror, decent size, kind of orange acrylic. And on the reverse here, it has the bats and it says Nightmare Before Christmas. Also has a little decal for the, I guess, barcode. So yeah, pretty good. I will definitely use that today. And then for the palette, it has this kind of interesting shape, and it was taped shut at the top. Normally when something is taped shut, I just try to go in from the bottom because normally only one side is taped. But because this is bigger on one side, I couldn't do that. But anyway, we have Oogie Boogie, Halloween Town, and then we have Lock, Shock, and Barrel on the reverse. So really nice artwork and packaging. And then of course we have the lenticular Oogie Boogie, which never really gets that there. I think that's the best way to see it. Never gets old. I do have, and then it says, wasn't it terrifying on the reverse. I have this lenticular palette. I have the Nomad one from last year, I think it was. I do want to pick up their new one, but I'm just waiting for a sale, I guess. And then I have the Glam Light, like Scooby-Doo lenticular highlighter, I think it is. So I am a big fan, especially for Halloween. I just think it's a lot of fun. Okay, so on the inside, again, we have another mirror, Halloween Town, and then those are the shades. I will admit that I'm a little intimidated by this color story, but we will give it our best shot. And then on the other side, with this kind of mesh zippered compartment, we have the highlighter, and again, we have kind of, I guess, uneven packaging. This is the True Love Never Dies Digital Dust Highlighter. So same kind of plastic packaging as the mirror, but this one just has a, I guess, kind of graveyard sight. And then this one, it is magnetic, which I do like. And then on the inside, if you can see that, this one has another plastic. On the inside, it says, "I'll be your nightmare." And then that is the embossing. I'm a little worried this is going to be too deep on me, but again, we'll certainly try it out. And then we have two lipsticks. So one is called Pumpkin King, that one obviously, and this one is Lock, Shock, and Barrel. These are both ultra matte lipsticks. I did make sure to exfoliate my lips and apply a good lip balm before filming. But yeah, this one, this was the Pumpkin King. Yeah. So again, same kind of orange acrylic. And this one has, again, the same kind of Lock, Shock, and Barrel on the outside. That's what the top looks like. And that is the bullet. So I guess I can do swatches of both of these. I even like that they had the kind of detail on the inner flaps. Always appreciate good attention to detail. I think this, yeah, it looks like this lipstick case is the same. I was wondering if the different lipsticks would have different packaging, but they are both the same, which is fine. And this one is a very, very deep kind of burgundy color. So two lipsticks, and then finally we have two gel eyeliners. So this one is called Master of Fright. Really cute. And I did also pull out my ColourPop Nightmare Before collection pieces, so I'll show you a little bit of kind of comparison at the end. But this one, it does have some printing on the lid as well. So again, really nice attention to detail on that. And the other one is called Terrible Vision with Sally. I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest Nightmare Before Christmas fan, because I know there are some people who are truly like hardcore about it, but I have actually seen the movie. In fact, I try to watch it usually once a year. I did watch it a few days ago. But that is the Terrible Vision, and this one you can see it does have different printing and a different colored cap, and it has Sally's arm and her hair and everything. So that is kind of how they look side by side. So that is the overview here, and I said that the makeup bag wasn't sold at Sephora or won't be sold. The lipsticks I don't think have popped up, but the highlighter, the gel liners, and the palette. I think all of those have listings on the Sephora site now, so those should be coming soon. I'm not sure exactly when they will launch. But if you did want the mirror or the lipsticks, I think one of the lipsticks might be sold out, but otherwise you can purchase from Melt directly. So I think I'll start with the highlighter because that's the only shade option I have in this, and I'm quite curious. I do have bronzer and blush applied and contour, but I try to keep it kind of neutral on the base. So going in with an Anastasia A23 brush, I'm going to try and just stick to the bottom here so I don't mess up too much of the embossing. So that might be too much actually. So you can see it does have a bit of a kind of duochrome. It's pretty, but I think for me, I'm going to try and blend that down a little bit. For me, I think it does do better as kind of a blush topper. And I haven't had much experience with Melt Cosmetics, to be honest. I think I've purchased one of their like cream blush colors, but I haven't purchased like every collection they've ever launched. So that is the highlighter, a little bit more kind of blended out. And I did kind of go in with a light hand on the blush, so maybe I'll try. Yeah, so I don't think this is a product I'm going to be reaching for too much. I mean, it's pretty. I think it's just not the best suited for my skin tone. Like, I think if I look straight ahead, you can see it kind of has a bit of a cast. I'm sure that will be beautiful on other complexions, but I think for me, it's just not quite the best. So the blush I used is that, what is it called? Rose Fusion, the top one from this is the Jellyfish palette from this year's. And this is a Rephr number 5. Just applying a little bit more to try and kind of, I don't know, balance it out and blend. Okay, so for the eyes, I did already prime and set my eyes, and I'm quite tempted, if I'm going to be honest, to just use the purple shades, because when I'm not sure of using color, kind of going in a more monochromatic direction is usually a safe choice. They also have those really pretty kind of turquoise colors. So if you wanted to do a quad, like these blues and then the purples, and then maybe just do some accents with the orange and the yellow, that might be a way to go about it. So it's interesting because I did pick up the Natasha Denona mini Triochrome palette. And I'm not usually one for super kind of bold color choices, but I picked up this palette from Melt and the Natasha Denona in the space of, I don't know, a week or two. So I guess the Halloween season is as good a time as any. So I'm going to go in first with the shade My Bugs, which is that kind of lightest lavender type color. And this is a Sigma Large Fluff E50 brush. So just gonna start to build up some color. It's actually surprising kind of how easy this is. Okay, so I think that's a decent base. And then I'm going to take my Sonia G in that same color and run that underneath. Okay, and then taking a Sonia G Classic Crease and going into the Mayor, which is a little bit more on the kind of wine kind of side of things. This has a little bit more red in it. I suppose I could have done one eye with kind of the purple look I mentioned and one eye with the blue, but I guess in terms of me reviewing this palette or this collection, like with every video I film, I try to think of like, what am I adding? What benefit or what value I can add to kind of the conversation that's already out there. And for this collection, like I said, I'm not the biggest Nightmare Before Christmas fan, although I do really love Nightmare Before Christmas, don't get me wrong. And I'm not super familiar with like Melt's formulas and that kind of thing. So I guess as kind of a first impressions with Melt's formulas, that adds something, I guess. I'm going to use the mini booster and go into Bone Daddy. But also just to see, I guess, someone who isn't as comfortable with super colorful looks. Like, say you were interested in maybe picking up this palette, but you were a little intimidated, or if you have a similar complexion to me and you were wondering how the shades would look on you, you know, I think there's something to be said for that. It's also kind of exhausting sometimes to make YouTube content. I'm going to go back in with the Classic Crease, and I'm going to take my Bugs shade again and just kind of try to blend this. But yeah, it's kind of exhausting sometimes to feel like you always just have to get the first video up about a product or a collection, and if you don't get it up on the same day as everyone else, then there's no point. That gets kind of exhausting and draining, and it does take some of the joy, I guess, out of making content. Like with the Trio Creme palette, I know Natasha Denona launched a kind of pre-order on her website, and she does have very fast shipping. I'll give her that. So I have ordered from her directly, and I do have a discount code, and I have points, whatever, that I can spend on her site as well. But she still does have, I think, like a $35 free shipping threshold, and I don't know, I just wasn't sure that there was another palette I really wanted to pick up from her to put me over that threshold. So I ended up purchasing from Ulta the next day. And of course, the Ulta order isn't going to get here until, I think, Wednesday, maybe. It's Monday night as I'm filming this, and I think a lot of people who ordered from Natasha Denona's site on Thursday have already posted their videos. So then it just becomes like, really? Like, it becomes a bit disheartening, because you know, people just tend to lose interest pretty quickly. Especially with a smaller channel. It's just kind of the nature of things. But enough of that. So I'm going to take my Refer 28 and go into Wormswort. Alright, and this is a shimmer. I picked up quite a bit. That might be too much. If I were just kind of doing this in my own time, not on camera, I probably would do my eyes first. And I like to wear eye patches that hopefully will catch. It's really pretty. Will hopefully catch some of the fallout that you're seeing. Probably could stand to wet my brush as well, but for going on top of a matte shadow, I'd say that has pretty good payoff. Okay, so I think that brushed away most of it. Yeah, and there wasn't really any, I don't know, philosophical reason why I haven't purchased from Melt a lot. It's just not everything they make has really called to me. They had that, like, was it like a setting powder that they launched earlier? I guess at the end of the day, I'm just kind of boring and basic with my makeup tastes. If you watched Linda from Glitter Fallout, ironically, as I get fallout, you know, she's tried to, I guess, take a more conscientious kind of low-buy approach to her makeup spending, but Melt was kind of the carve out for that, because I guess she is a very hardcore Melt fan, and she was saying how, you know, their last few collections, like the brunette palette, which I thought looked really pretty actually, that they haven't really kind of caught her eye or haven't been something that she's super interested in, so she hasn't really picked up anything. I'm gonna take on a, what is this, Rephr 26 brush. I'm gonna go into Oogie Boogie on the inner corner. I think that gives it a little something. Makes it a little bit more dimensional instead of just having kind of the monochromatic eye look. I am a little glad actually that they didn't put any embossing on these eyeshadow pans because it always kills me a little bit to disrupt them. I might go in a little bit more on the lower lash line. So I used my bugs before. I guess I'll go in a little bit with the Mayor. I feel like these are pretty generous hand sizes as well. You get, it says net weight a little over 19 grams. This was made in the US. The ABH, I think this is about 12 grams, if I'm doing my math correctly. And that is a 3-6-12 pan. So 2 more shades, but less product. A Natasha Denona, this is about 19 grams as well. But this has 15 shades. So same overall weight, but you're getting 5 more shades than the Natasha Denona. So yeah, you are getting kind of a decent amount of product in these shades. I don't think these are necessarily shades that I'm going to go through that quickly. But if you really love color, or maybe, I don't know, if you're a makeup artist and you feel like you use colorful shadows a lot, now I just want to play. So the Oogie Boogie is the more kind of chartreusey yellow, and then we have Gone Again, a little bit more of an orange. I'm just going to tap some of the Gone Again over. Gives it a little bit something. I probably have done this with the highlighter as well. Okay. So I think that's good. I feel like I pushed myself a little bit. I mean, it's still fundamentally, I think, a monochromatic eye look, but just a little bit of tweaking here and there. And I've heard people say that you can use these as eyeshadow bases as well. I haven't tried this formula before, so I didn't feel quite confident in doing that, but this one is the shade Master of Fright, and that is the metallic. And then this one is Terrible Vision, and it's a matte, like really saturated pumpkin. I think both of these colors actually will be really pretty on a kind of like matte, kind of neutral eye, just to give it a little bit more something. I think I want to try the metallic one, and I have a brand new BK208, so it's nice and clean. I haven't played with gel liner in a hot minute. So this one was a little bit kind of, I don't know, shifted in transit. I wonder if I can just pick up some from the cap here. All right, so let's see how well we do. I'll try and do my best to be in frame here. All right, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's showing up a little bit. Yeah, I can see a difference. I might try the other one as well. Yeah, I feel like maybe these shades and formulas aren't the best to go with this palette, because they're kind of, I guess, competing with each other. I know some people have applied these like to their waterline and stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of doing that, but we'll see. All right, so I guess you can see where, I don't know, I just had some on the side of the brush and it ended up kind of getting where I didn't want it. Ooh, that was kind of an accident. I've seen some people do the thing where they kind of draw out like a liner with their fingernail. I feel like I'm not getting quite the same blend as I did before. Just like trying to get the right, I guess, types of shadows, combination of colors. I feel like having the warmer kind of pink shade does help. I think it makes it a little bit more flattering. All right, I think that's good enough. Okay, so I want to try the same technique, I guess, with this other liner. And this one, for whatever reason, held up a lot better. These are like super creamy. Like you barely just dip your brush in or whatever and it just like instantly kind of, I don't know, it's just very creamy. Okay, so I think that shows up a little bit better. But it's still, it's difficult to get like a really kind of defined graphic look over this kind of eyeshadow. And I guess I could have gone in, if like I just did the yellow or orange all over, you know, maybe this would show up better. So other than commenting on, I guess, the choice of the shades, I'm not knocking it. It's just, again, playing with kind of formulas that I'm not super familiar with. Okay, so I think I'm going to hop off camera and do my mascara, and then I'll be back for the lips. All right, so mascara is on. Of course, I'll have everything I used today linked down below. But for the lipstick, so I guess I'll try out both. I do like that the sticker on the bottom indicates what the color will be. And I have a little bit of kind of a lip oil left, so I'm just going to make sure there isn't too much excess. And not going in with a liner or anything. I think they might have kind of a vanilla scent. So I feel like this is a color where I could use a lip liner. I don't know that I have one in my collection that would like really be the best. Same Q-tip. Just a wipe. Not bad though. Kind of matches my shirt. It has a little bit of brown in it, I think. Teeth test. Yeah, I definitely feel like this color story is giving Halloween, so that was, I think, the Pumpkin King is what that one is called. And it did feel decent to apply. I think my lips do feel drier now, and I think it did stain as well a little bit. So we'll see how the second shade applies. All right, and then going in with Lock, Shock, and Barrel. This feels a little cheap, a little kind of chintzy. I don't know. All right, so and I do feel like they're not like the smoothest. Like I feel like I have to kind of like warm them up a little bit. But the trade-off with that is that you do tend to get like longer wear. Yeah, I want to say it almost has like a Play-Doh smell. And this is another shade where I would definitely want to use a lip liner. Maybe even a lip brush. So this is super, super dark. I mean, if you want, I think it looks better with my teeth though. If you want kind of a super dark, vampy, goth lip, but you don't want black, this might be a good option. You can see where I removed it that it did kind of stain a bit. Yeah, I think I have maybe a Lisa Eldridge one lip liner that would work well with this. I thought Jazz or Myth might work, but I don't think those are dark enough. All right, so I pulled out a lip brush. This is a really old one from Stila. It's number 6. I really like this one because it has kind of a like triangular tip, and I haven't seen a lot of lip brushes that look like that, so. The problem I'm having is that it looks uneven. All right, so I think that might be as good as I can get it. I think honestly I just need like a really like almost black lip liner I mean, I might have one. I just need to kind of hunt through my collection a little bit, but I can see the benefits to a formula like this, especially if you're going out for a night or whatever, but I think you could see the struggle a little bit. So unfortunately, I think this might be the one that's currently in stock. I don't know if Pumpkin King is in stock, so that might be a pass. I'm sure there are other like long wearing kind of deep wine burgundy shades on the market that you might be able to get a better application with. So I'm not sure that's worth it to me. But if you can get your hands on Pumpkin King, I think it's kind of a fun fall color. I might need to try these in other ways like I mentioned. I mean, you can see the color there, so it's not like it's totally non-existent on my eyelids, but I guess they don't really serve the purpose of an eyeliner in terms of like making your lash line look darker, thicker, that kind of thing. So, I mean, they're fun, but I think if you want to just get one thing from the collection, I would probably recommend the palette, actually. I think I was fairly successful with it, and at least the shades I tried didn't really give me any trouble. A little bit of fallout, but I think I was able to pretty much brush that away, so that's good. The mirror's cute, and the highlighter and everything, like the packaging is 10 out of 10. But as far as like what's available and what I would recommend, I'd say go for the palette. So on that note, talk a little bit about the ColourPop collection that I think came out 2 years ago now. So I thought I would just do a little bit of a kind of side-by-side comparison in case you're interested. So this is the ColourPop Nightmare Before Christmas palette. This is the Melt one, and this one has 14 grams. So you are getting more product in the Melt one, but I think this retailed for $22, and I think this is also made in the USA. They do have some shades on this one that they say are not for use around the immediate eye area, if you care about that. I don't think Melt has that disclaimer. The directions are apply around eyes as desired. This has a 12-month shelf life, and this one I don't see on the outer packaging. I thought it was interesting with the ColourPop collection. They went for more of the kind of crossover Christmas and Halloween. So you can see that Jack has this Christmas hat, Santa hat on. They have a lot of glitter. So this was a really fun collection too, just kind of in different ways. And yeah, I'm not seeing a kind of Best Buy date, but not like I really pay attention to those. And then this is the 12-pan color palette. I think the ColourPop collection was also supposed to be kind of UV light activated, if I recall. So that's kind of the side-by-side color story. This one has some more neutrals that you can play around with, and then it has, I guess, one orange, one gold, more of a true gold, I guess, and then it has more pinks and purples. You have kind of a, I think, duochrome type shade. So I think this one is more colorful, more adventurous, if that's what you're into. I don't think the ColourPop is available anymore, but just in case you do have it. I kind of, I guess, prefer that the Melt collection leaned more heavily into the Halloween side of things, because I always have that kind of internal debate with myself, like, is it a Halloween movie? Is it a Christmas movie? I think it really is more of a Halloween movie. But yeah, they made it into more of a Christmas movie, I want to say. So yeah, so those were the palettes, and then I got, they did a fun thing with these like lipstick ornaments. So we have Sally holding up a tree, and their lipstick packaging was, you know, a little bit more basic perhaps. You only have the printing on that one side. It's kind of a translucent gray plastic. We did get some embossing on the lipstick. That one has like skulls and snowflakes, which is a super interesting combination there. So this was the Sally lipstick. Yeah, and they did have printing on the inside of the packaging too. That was Sally, and then we had Jack with Zero, and Zero has his little pumpkin nose, which is really cute. And this one, you just have Jack's head, and I don't know if these are supposed to line up. I might have put it on differently, but I think these lipsticks retailed for 10. Same embossing with the skulls and the snowflakes. So I think these were 10, which is about less than half of the Melt ones. And these were also a Luxe cream, cream Luxe lipstick. So different formula there. So that was a red for Jack and a pink for Sally, and then for Oogie Boogie, who I think is, I don't know. I really love his song. I think that's part of it. I know he's the villain. Yeah, and then you have that really fun silhouette. And so he had the nude. So arguably more wearable colors. So I didn't get the full ColourPop collection. They had some things, I think, like face gems that I just knew I wasn't going to use. For the ColourPop collection, they did have an accessory, which was really fun. This was a sponge for Zero, and it's just kind of a basic sponge shape with Zero printed on it. So nothing too exciting there, but still very cute. And then I had 3 of the, what are these called? Jelly Much shadows. So Lock, Shock, and Barrel each got their own. So this was Barrel, and then Lock. And they did a really good job of, I don't know, having really fun packaging with the black glitter and everything. And then Shock, I didn't already say that. I think, is it Catherine O'Hara voiced Shock, who was Moira in Schitt's Creek? Yeah, Catherine O'Hara was both Sally and Shock. So yeah, very, very talented voice actress. Okay, and then to open these up, again, you can see a little bit more of the inside there. So yeah, pretty kind of basic packaging. These are, oops, gonna be kind of dried out now, but that was, all right, so that was Lock. And these I think were $10 a piece, which if you want to compare them to the liners, again, probably about half. These were really kind of pretty fun colors. So that was Barrel. And then finally we have Shock. And this was more of a vibrant pink color. So pretty fun. Same kind of general idea with some of these kind of more neon colors. And it's interesting too, like looking back at the movie, because aside from Christmas Town, like Halloween Town is pretty kind of monochromatic. Like there isn't a lot of color in that kind of setting. It's very, very dark. All right, so that is it for my kind of overview and look at this collection. As I said before, I think the palette is probably what I would recommend getting. Although if you just want something on the cheaper side just to pick up, maybe the mirror. But the Sephora VIB sale is coming up, so maybe hold off and pick up the palette at Sephora. You could try doing that too. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. If you haven't subscribed already, I encourage you to do so. And I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.